What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a fabulous day today. It's Ghost Hash here. We're gonna go over today how to assemble a mining rig on this wire frame right over here. We're gonna go step by step. We're gonna identify every part, talk about every part, and then we're gonna put it all together. I'm gonna show you how to do it safely inside of your small bedroom, apartment, or anywhere. If this is your first time, guys, this will be a good video, as we're gonna cover every single piece of hardware needed. All right, guys, without further ado, I'm gonna start by placing the motherboard over on the rack, and we're gonna start kind of setting everything up and arranging it the way we need it to be. Keep in mind that we're working here with metal rack, and I don't want to put any electrical components directly on the rack. I know they make standoffs for this kind of thing. I don't have any of that stuff right now, so we're going to use cardboard. Alright, so first I'm going to take the motherboard right here, guys. I apologize. I hope you guys can still hear me way over there. I put the camera down. Alright, so I got a piece of cardboard. This cardboard here is cut to the size of the motherboard. So let's go ahead and let's see where we're gonna put this. Actually, I made this little slot here for the motherboard. This shelf can actually come down if need be. But if you see, I made this little spot for the power supply and motherboard. Let's go ahead and grab our motherboard. Alright, now I'm unsure of how we're going to place it. So, just for starters, let's just put it here for now. I'm thinking we are going to run it this way. Possibly so that the PCIe cables could come out of the back, and then I can put the server power supply here and the power supply, the ATX power supply here. Alright, guys, so this is the motherboard. This is your backbone of your system. This is basically where you plug in the risers that go to the GPUs. This is where your CPU is, your processor, and your memory. It's recommended that you use 8 gigabyte of memory. You got to check what type of motherboard you have. Most motherboards are DDR4 nowadays, the more modern ones. But a little older motherboards run DDR3. Aside from that, you're gonna need a USB. Recommended, if you're gonna run Windows, you need a drive, a bootable drive that's at least 32 gigabytes. This here is a Samsung 64 gigabyte. This one is actually running Hive OS. I'll go over Hive and the difference between Hive and Windows in another video, and we'll go over the installation and how to create a bootable drive. But for now, I just want to show you guys how to put the hardware together. Alright, so that's our motherboard. I'm gonna go over the parts, guys, as I hook it up. So I'm gonna identify the part as I'm hooking it up. That way you know what it is, you know what you need. After the video, I will create a list and I will include it in the link in the comments, so that you guys know, you know, the list, the part list. And I'll try to get links for you, and you guys can maybe shop where I shop. Who knows? If you find a better deal, let me know. Okay, guys, so This is our PCIe riser. I'm not very good one-handed, guys, so actually let's get the motherboard set up. That's actually what we do. Motherboard's in place. I'm gonna get the ATX power supply, and we are gonna slide that bad boy right in here. I'm thinking the best way, watch all these cables, and this is one of the downsides, guys. This is an ATX power supply. It's a non-modular power supply, which means that these wires are pre-attached. I can't modify the back of this. These wires are here, they're permanent. A modular, 100% modular power supply has the plugs, has the PCIe plugs for every cable, and you can remove them and only use the ones you need. In this case, I'm gonna have to find a way to tuck these excess cables somewhere, so but for now, let's place that there. Let's take a look at our motherboard. This thing is moving it. Okay, so this here is our 24-pin connector. This is what the main power connector to the motherboard. You want to go ahead, you want to make sure, I apologize guys if my footage is a little shoddy, as I am a terrible one-handed worker. I'm gonna have to switch hands here probably, because I'm not even left-handed, guys. All right, look, we did it. Left-handed. Maybe I'll stay left-handed. Okay, so now that we did that, there's one more power cable, guys. So this is a 24-pin connector, and then usually there's an 8-pin connector that also goes from the power supply to the motherboard. So let's go ahead and locate that. It's more than likely going to say CPU on it. Let's look at all these cables, all these SATA cables we probably will not use. Okay, this is a VGA cable. This is what you would use to power your graphic card if you were going to power it with this. But since we're not, let's put it over there. SATA. Here it goes, CPU. Okay, so now that we got that, let's go ahead and plug it right over here. There's two, you see there's two 4-pins. You kind of want to put them together, and they slide right in here. Whoop, not right in there, guys. That was actually the motherboard itself. All right, there we go. You want to make sure all these connections, you always want to make sure they're really snug, guys. You don't want to go nuts. Don't, stand on something and use all your pressure, but make sure that they're connected well and that they snap. They have a hook here that kind of grabs the latch. You want to make sure that that is secure. You will not, it's the best practice, trust me. You don't want to lose connection and one of these wires melted. Okay guys, now that we have the power to the motherboard, let's do something about all these cables here. Guys, I think I'm gonna need 2 hands for this one. I'll be right back. Okay guys, we're back. I got the cables all tied up. If you see here, I used Velcro straps. I secured them together, and then I secured them to the frame here. I also secured the power cable here, thus securing pretty much the power supply there. Keep in mind that we said that we cannot have metal on metal, so let me get a piece of cardboard ready so that we can get this power supply up off of this metal shelf. I was gonna make a tutorial about it, but I said, let me just slide it in. All right, guys, so now that we got the ATX power supply over to the motherboard, let's go ahead and let's get the server's power supply over to the motherboard as well. As we said here, this is an HP switching power supply. There's the model number. I think they make multiple different types of model numbers. As long as it has a slot here that you can plug a breakout board to, you're totally fine. Let's go ahead and get that breakout board plugged in. Again, guys, I don't know how I'm gonna do this one-handed, but let's try it out. You know what? Got a better idea, guys. How do we just do this? Alright, so you see here? You wanna make sure that this side goes plugs right in there. Just like that. Want to make sure it's nice and snug, and there you have it. So what this does is it modifies this power supply that's built to slide into a server rack to power the GPUs via these PCIe 6-pin PCIe power slots. Has a little power switch right here. I'll show you once we get it all installed, guys, how to turn it on and how to power, and how to start your GPU up, make sure everything's running fine. Before I set this up, I'm gonna need another. So power supply is set. I got a big piece of cardboard to cover for both the ATX and the server power supply. Breakout board is in. We discussed what the breakout board does. It modifies the server power supply so that it can be used for something other than a server, in this case mining. These breakout boards come for different applications, but in this case, let's see how we can use it. All right, so now that we have the server power supply in place, something you need to know about it is a hot slot, I think they call it. So basically you plug this in and it goes. There's no power switch to it. The breakout board adds this little power switch, but you'll notice as soon as you plug this in, you'll hear it go, the fan start. One more thing to add, if you're using a 110 outlet, you're only going to get 900 watts out of this. If you're on a 220, you can go up to 1200 watts. So now that we got that set, let's start plugging our cables in. Our PCIe power cables. Alright guys, so these cables here are what power the GPU. So basically we want to put, and again, same rule applies, you want to make sure that it's in snug. You hear that click, double check, feel around, everything feels nice. Okay, this end is a 6+2 PCIe. This would go in to either the PCIe riser, or you want to split this, which will make it 2 6+2 pins. So check it out, this is what I mean. So here's the splitter. Basically I can plug this into this, and it'll give me 2 PCIe heads, 6+2s. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and do it. Okay, let me put you down real quick. Well, I don't want you to fall. Hold on. All right, so let's go ahead and run it up through here for now. You want to go ahead and these slide in, as you can see, right here. You slide them in, and again, same rule applies. Make sure everything's nice and snug. And now you have two 6+2 heads. Alright guys, so we want to do this let's see if I can get you a view through the rack so I can do them. Yeah, alright. So alright guys, so I'm going to repeat the process over and over again. I may just fast forward through this part, so I'm sure you guys will notice that. Alright guys, so I have 3. Let's go ahead and plug the rest. These already have the splitters attached to them. Alright, so there you have it guys, 6 cables plugged in. Let's go ahead and bring them up for now and get them out of the way. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alright. Alright guys, so I'll get them all through. And just like that. Alright, they're all through guys. Alright, so guys, we have the power situation sorted out. Again, this is an ATX power supply, 450 watt. I think 80 plus. I'm not sure what that amounts to. I think it's a silver rated, but again, really doesn't matter because all it's going to power is this motherboard here. Again, this motherboard is going to have Ravencoin. Ravencoin to me is a good coin to mine if you have 4 gig cards, which is what I have mostly. I have one 8 gig card on this rig. The rest of them are 4 gig sapphires. So I'll go over Ravencoin in another video and why I mine Ravencoin, why I like 4 gig cards, and why I think they're still profitable. If you want to mine, I think 4 gig cards are the way to go. RX cards especially. I mean, not every 4 gig card is equal. I mean, but you do your research. There's you can get some great cards at great prices right now. Okay, so guys, now that we did that, let's get our PCIe adapters in, USB adapters. These adapters will allow us to basically plug in USB to USB males into the PCIe riser. Again, they look like this. You got to make sure you plug them in the right way. There is this fat end that goes on the fat side. Excuse me. Okay, repeat like so. Alright guys, so now that we got all of those plugged in, what we want to do is the same thing that we did with the power cables here, we're going to do with the USB cables. We're going to plug them in, but this time I'll start from the top and we'll plug down. Okay guys, so here's our cables. Let's put them all off to the side here. Let's start with this one since it's completely out. We'll hook it up here, and voila, we have one. We'll repeat the process. You know what? Let's be smart and let's line these up now so that they come right out and they're, stay straight. So we can actually use these wires as kind of a management system to make sure all the cables are spaced out and they're not laid up on top of each other. I like to keep the rig nice and neat. The way it was running, I kind of just set it up one by one as I got the cards. It was kind of started off as a test rig where I would test the card when I got it. Then it ended up with 2 cards, 3 cards, and I said, I'm just going to turn it, buy a wire rack and turn it into a rig. Eventually what I want to do is turn this into a 8, maybe 10 card rig on this wall. For now, I don't think that this outlet can support it. I'm currently renting, so again, I know you guys, if you've watched any other videos, have heard me say that before. But these are some challenges that residential miners face. I mean, if you want to do it, guys, don't let the fact that you rent stop you. It's definitely something that that should not be a reason why you don't accomplish something you want to do in your life. Just go for it, man. If this is what you want to do it. I started with a couple $100, and little by little, and now I have about a dozen GPUs, and we'll work our way up from there. But you got to start somewhere. Once you start, it's magic that happens after that. Doors start opening. You'll start finding deals. Just get started, man. All right, so here are PCIe risers. Before I attach those, I first want to hang the GPUs. I use zip ties to hang them. I'm gonna show you how I zip tie one GPU, and then I'm gonna just go ahead and zip tie all of them to the frame, because it's just, I don't think you guys want to sit and watch me zip tie all of these. All right, so I went ahead and I pre-zip tied. I applied the zip ties to all the other GPUs except for this one. I want to show you guys how it is that I do it. Okay, so here's your zip tie. there's a slot underneath this metal thing that you can, this bracket that holds, that you can screw the GPU into the computer case. Underneath you can slide this in. You want to slide it right directly down the middle across to the other side of the GPU. It should come out like this. Once you have it like that, what you want to do is you want to stick another zip tie through here like so, and once you have it attached, that's stuck there. Now on this side you want to do the same thing. Alright guys, now this is not going anywhere. Last but not least guys, now that you got this set up here, you want to attach one last one right here. Okay, so voila, there you have it guys. I'm not sure if you can see that, but I'll show you guys how to attach it to the rack here in 1 second. Alright everyone, so now that we got the straps on, all it is attaching it to the top here. Oh, if I could do that with a camera in my hand, let's see, that would be awesome. So I say we can put this guy through here. Alright, hey, we did it guys. Alright, so essentially you're gonna have your GPU hang, and then you can snug it up. So I'll show you how to snug it up. Alright, let me see if I can get you guys. Okay, so you got your GPU here. I am gonna go ahead and connect it. Once you attach it, it's not going anywhere. That's it, it's hanging. Once it's hanging like this guys, then it's a matter of just adjusting it side to side. You want to pull on the tabs. Alright, that makes sure that it's square here. Now you want to start pulling up into the side. This one-handed stuff stinks guys. Alright, I gotta work on it, sure. Oh, here's the issue. And then once you got it up, see, you want to leave a little leeway in between your metal. Boom. Alright, we got one hanging guys. I'm gonna go ahead and hang the rest so you guys don't have to sit through the whole process. Alright, so we got all the GPUs hung. I used the zip tie, then I clipped it here with a scissor. Remember we had 4, so I had 4 tails to clip on each GPU. They're all hanging. I'm gonna make sure there's enough room between them. That's about right. Say about 2 to 3 inches would do. I mean, you could go across the whole rack, but it's not what I'm trying to do here. As you can see on our table, we're low on parts, so I have 6 PCIe risers. I have 2 splitters and 1 power button for the motherboard that we will install last. So let's go ahead and get these PCIe cards, the risers installed on the cards. Here we go. Boom, and it snaps into place like that, and this little locking mechanism down here, lock it into place, and we have 1 installed. Alright, so all the PCIe risers are on the cards. Remember earlier in the video I had said that we have to plug in 1 PCIe 6-pin power cable here and 1 USB cable on the other side. We attached the power cables on both the power supply and the motherboard respectively. Now we just have to attach it to the PCIe riser. I'll start with let's start with the power cables first, since they're a pain in the butt sometimes to get in. So here's what let's divvy these out. I'll make the 3 on this side. The 3 on this side will be for the cards, these 3 cards. The 1 Sapphire, the 470, and the Vega 64. Alright guys, I already got the Vega 64 plugged in. Let's plug in the RX470 here. See this one? This is our splitter. We're gonna put the 6 pin on the actual GPU, and you're gonna take the other end and we're gonna plug it to the riser. Alright guys, so I had to rearrange the rig a little bit. Some of the cables that I have, the USB to USB for the PCIe risers, don't make it all the way across the rack, so I had to cut off here and start a second row, and that's perfectly fine. But just wanted to update you guys on where we were. I'm gonna rearrange the server power supply as well, and get all these cables hooked up, and I'll update you guys in a sec. Alright everyone, so here's the final product. I was able to get all the wires connected, double check everything, make sure that all the connections are secure. When you're dealing, guys, with electricity, you want to make sure that everything is 100% secure, plugged in the way it should be. Sorry guys, let me get some light on for you guys. But anyway, yeah, you want to make sure all these connections are tight, secure. When you're dealing with electricity, you don't want any wiggle, you don't want any of that hot metal touching plastic or burning any of your components. So make sure everything's plugged in tight. Same with the PCIe riser cables. Make sure that the adapters for the USB are plugged in the right way. I'm not sure if you can see that. I apologize guys for the lack of light. It got dark on me here. But make sure those are plugged in tight. Make sure your 24-pin cable and your 8-pin cable to the power adapter are tight, and everything on the breaker board is tight. After you've done that, I had pre-plugged in the 2 power supply cables. We're gonna go ahead and power up first. We're gonna go ahead and plug in the server power supply, and you will see it flash right away. I want to make sure that's tight, guys. I'm gonna put the camera down real quick. That is tight. Okay. Guys, we're gonna do the same thing with the ATX power supply. Here's the power cable for that, and we will plug that bad boy in right here, and we want to make sure that it's tight. Alright guys, here goes nothing. You want to always turn on the power to your graphic cards first, and you do that by hitting this little button here. You can see the lights turning on. All the PCIe risers have power. I do not see power going to this one, but that's right, because we connected it to the ATX power supply. Let's go ahead and power that on. Power the motherboard and get this thing going. If you did everything right, you should see all your fans moving, all the fans spinning, and final confirmation would be going over to Hive OS and checking that out. I'm not gonna do this on this video, guys, because you guys, I've been through Hive OS on other videos with you guys, and I'd like to get an in-depth view on Hive OS in the future, on a future video. But for now, I just wanted to show you, like I said, the hardware, what it would take, about how long, the parts you're gonna need, and just wanted to go through it with you guys. In my opinion, mining is doable for everyone. If this is something that you're into, please don't let anything stop you. Like I said, I'm in a small space. I have power constraints, and I still do it. It's just something I enjoy doing. So my goal here is to show you guys what I do. Hopefully you guys take an interest, and if you guys want to pursue it, I'm here to help. Anyways, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for watching, and like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. See you soon.